What's that? Let's check out this video that you guys highly recommended. It's from a creator by the name of Amir Odom. And I've watched a few of this guy's videos, man. He's actually extremely talented, right? And I like his opinion. I haven't watched this video yet because it just came out. It's called The Most Concerning Things About the Black Community. Oh, snap. It's about to get real. It's about to get real. Now, let's check this out, man. Check this out. And also, check out the full video on your own. On your own, man. I highly recommend it. I think this guy is really talented. Once again, maybe one day I can interview him and get his opinion on some things, man. I think that would be cool. But let's check out this video, man, and see what the opinion is in full. See what he has to say. Let me stop jibber-jabbing. There you go.
Whether it be our crippling culture, crumbling cities, or chaotic crime, we need to reevaluate what's going on within the Black community because honestly, I feel like the solution is right in front of us. Let me tell you, growing up as a Black man in America has been very...
Before we even get into it, I'm rewinding back. Man, he's editing like a mother effer in this piece. I ain't mad at it. He's killing it, bro.
Right in front of us.
All right, now let's see what he has.
Let me tell you, growing up as a Black man in America has been very interesting. From hating my skin and my hair to loving who I am today, and from hating this country with a burning passion to traveling abroad and understanding why people immigrate here in the first place, I've learned a lot. And as I've grown and listened to the perspectives of Black people on the left, the right, and everywhere in between, I found some interesting overlaps that I want to talk about.
Video after video from city to vandalism.
Right now, most of those are young Blacks. How 72 people were shot in one weekend.
Before we dive into this video, I want to thank today's sponsor, Aura. I don't know about y'all, but these spam calls are getting ridiculous. And not even just the spam calls, but all these emails too I'm getting for things that I never even signed up for in the first place. I'm sure you're annoyed just as me. And honestly, it did get me thinking, how do they have all our information to begin with? Well, it's these data brokers that pull in all the information they have on us and they sell it off, which is beyond shady and creepy that everything about you is just out there floating and getting sold left and right. However, with Aura, all of this comes to an end. Aura is a service that protects all of your information.
Yeah, fine. There was a point where I was getting the weirdest calls. Like people would call and pretend like they already have my membership, right? And they was calling to make sure that the information was right. And, oh, it's wrong? Okay, well, give me the information so I could, fix it on our side. And it's like, you think I'm stupid. I like to play mind games with those people. I had one dude crying on my line because I was like just stalling. And after maybe 20 minutes, I was like, actually, I'm a cop. And I've been tracking this call the entire time. Huh? What? I said, yeah, I'm coming for you. You and your buddies. I know they doing these calls too. Yo, they was so scared, bro. It was the funniest thing in the world. I bet you I fixed his life. Probably went to college.
And does the work of a ton of different apps, but in one. They do the reaching out and tell data brokers to remove your information, which is huge because while data brokers are legally responsible to take down your information when you ask them, they make it really hard to request to do so. So having Aura take that off your back is amazing. Spam call protection, identity theft protection, financial fraud protection. It's a VPN, password manager, and much, much more. Literally, it does everything under one app that is nationally respected and recognized. It's digital protection for everything that matters in my life. And given that my life is online, I'm glad to have Aura protect me and by my side. It's easy to use, it's sleek, and it's a one-stop shop that I've honestly been dying for. There's literally an app for everything nowadays, so having everything in one spot just makes me feel so much at peace. So either you can continue to let people profit and exploit your private information, or you can go to aura.com, AURA/Amir to start your 2-week free trial. This is also linked below in the description. Police brutality. Listen, I'm not here to tell you that all police are amazing and nothing bad ever happens to the Black community. What I am here to do is to share with you a new perspective. Does police brutality matter? Yes. Do cops get away with police brutality? Yes. Do we want to strive to get to a place where police brutality is reaching all-time new lows? Yes. I'm all for the changes and initiatives.
I forgot what was the name of this case. Oh my gosh. This is one of the most brutal things. And don't take me maybe even smiling or laughing as me thinking this is pleasant, but this was one of the most brutal. I thought it was fake, right? But it was a case, I think it was in Atlanta, where these group of cops, they beat the crap out of this man viciously. It's on tape. Molly whopping. At one point, he's unconscious. They pick him up and take turns continuing. They went and had a smoke break and then went back to it, right? Just to find out that this guy was dating one of the police officer's ex-girlfriends. Disgusting. And they tried to bury it too. So yes, there is corruption, without a doubt, right? I'm not going to act like it's not nasty things going on within the police force. Does that mean that every cop is bad? No.
But we need to get realistic with how bad the problem already is. Because what's frustrating to me is that we have a ton of Black people who genuinely think that there are thousands of young Black men getting shot and killed by the police every year.
You guys know how many unarmed Black men were killed by police last year?
No.
Oh,
I know people.
To guess. What?
In case I wasn't clear too, I probably wasn't clear. All of the police officers were Black. I should have led with that. In case I was not clear. In that case, I just discussed with those police officers did that to that young man because he was dating one of their ex-girlfriends. All of those police officers were Black. Just so you know. Can't recall their names, but I'm sure somebody in my comment sections or my live chat or something is going to recall and say it. All right. But tragic story. I thought about doing a video essay on it, or you know what? Maybe I'll react to the overall thing.
What'd you say?
Over 1,000.
I say a good probably 1,400, about there. Too many to count, probably.
And that's just not the case. If we're looking at 2022, 12 unarmed Black men were killed by the police. And I'm well aware this is a little bit of a different scenario, but I bring this up to show perspective. What's crazy is that in 2022, while 12 unarmed Black men were shot by police, 19 people were struck by lightning and died. That's how rare this is. There are more people routinely getting struck by lightning and dying than Black unarmed people are being shot by the police. And yet, even though we have these numbers, you have people blocking traffic and saying all cops are bad, when in reality, you're more likely to be in danger walking down the street in the hood than to be dealing with any white cop at all. And that's just the truth. We need police in our communities, but this is how we treat them.
It's crazy. Wow. And y'all praising this. Y'all said, first of all, why are these kids out here with no clothes on? Second, why y'all praising this behavior? It shouldn't be clapped and laughed at and camera put on. No, you supposed to respect these men. Come on, bro. That's just, you out of line. These kids are crazy. This is a bad, mindset to have for a child early on. Imagine what they're going to be acting like when they're adults.
And by no means do I condone this behavior. It's sad, but I low-key understand why they feel the way they feel. I understand why a lot of Black people despise the police and our youth is being raised to just not respect them. I hated America to its core because of the false narratives that the media was pushing. I felt like I had a target on my back and the police hated me just because I was Black. And when you're being told that an entire group of people who serves the government, who's supposed to be protecting me, actually hates me and wants to kill me.
Yes, I agree exactly with what he's saying. Yeah, so it's not necessary that you just assuming you're being instructed. Yes, I was the same way. Especially growing up in the hood, I had nothing but negative dealings with the police just in my neighborhood until I learned something different. And in fact, I would have to say I was blessed to get the opportunity of when I started training martial arts. I started going to a wrestling gym where I met this guy that was doing jujitsu. The most kind-hearted soul, fam. Dude was a giant, big muscle man, strong as hell, tough biker looking dude, right? Come up to you with the lightest voice. Hey, would you like to learn some jujitsu? And then he just flip you. Like just one move, right? And I trained with him and he prepared me for my first mixed martial arts fight. And then I learned after the fact that he was a cop. And that was so confusing to me. It was astonishing that somebody that showed me so much care, right, would be a cop. I wasn't used to it, right? But then it caused me to learn more. And then I realized, for one, that there was a switch that he would turn on whenever he was on the job, right? Him and his buddies, because I would see him out in the streets, right? and in uniform. And then he would run up and hug me and scare the hell out of me. But the first time I was terrified. I was like, ah, remember all my run-ins with cops were just bad, right? Just bad. So I was like, oh, so scared. And once I noticed I was him, I was like, man, come on, you can't play with me like that. So then I even seen his partner was all like mean mugging. Once he said, yeah, this is one of my students from jiu-jitsu, changed. Oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. He was telling me about you. And I realized, oh, it's a switch that they have to flip. And it's kind of like mandatory for their job. Because if you're all lucky all the time, you might get caught slipping, right? You know how terrifying doing a traffic stop has to be for a police officer? It has to be really scary, bro. It has to be really scary. Like I've seen some videos, people are insane because they're afraid of getting arrested, right? Or maybe they're dirty and they don't want it to be discovered. Right. So there's a lot of things, but that experience taught me to not just judge a book by its cover, but I understand exactly what you're saying because I was brought up to be like, yo, F the cops. No cops are good. Yo, F the cop. And it's not really like that. Right. I've met a lot of good police officers after that too, especially when I was in a group home. There was some officers that used to come and check on us. Right. Regularly, I'm laughing because these dudes were straight comedians. They was like, if you ever seen Superbad, I actually knew cops just like that in real life. Fucking comedians, bro. I'll be walking down the street, cop car pull up, sirens on, still running. My man hop out the car with the car still running, walking up on it. What's up? I'm like, how many times you practiced that, officer? He was like maybe 20 times. It was cool though, right? Like they was cool ass cops, right? They used to just know us as the group home kids. So they always come and check on us. They would like personally come to the group home. Yo, you good? Especially me or the fights I was getting into. They grab me by my collar, bring me to the damn group home. Like, get your ass back in the house, man. Right? And I'm realizing like they could have been throwing my ass in jail. But they knew me as, oh, this is Beast from the group home, man. Go back. Go in here, man. Relax. Right? So I had certain experiences that changed my feeling towards cops, but at an earlier age, yes, I was conditioned, bro. Like it's really weird and hard to explain how hard I was conditioned by just the community, right? And people that I knew, OGs in the hood that had bad run-ins with the police, they preaching to you all these things. You should hate the cops, fam. Like, fam, I remember when we did a fire drill and a cop was there when I was in elementary school, and my teacher was laughing because I was like this on the wall. Like, and they were just like, yeah. Listen, you're not arrested. Come on. Where did he learn that from? Sit down. And OGs in the hood told me, yo, listen, they gonna just start hitting on you too. So you need to. So it's just stuff that I was conditioned to just assume the worst. And then after a while, I was brought out of that. So I agree.
Me, that really messes with one's mental health. I mean, hell, the media wouldn't dare show you footage of our troops overseas getting shot and killed on TV, but what they will show you is Black people getting killed on live TV. It's actually messed up how much the media is playing with our minds and society as a whole. Truly, I just wish more people, specifically Black people, looked at the data for what it is. Again, I'm not saying all police are amazing and nothing bad ever happens, but compared to how our reaction is, it doesn't really match what's going on. Community crime rates.
Studies, statistics, and surveys all say that Black drivers are far more likely to be pulled over than white ones. They're also more likely to have guns pointed at them by police, to be detained, handcuffed, searched, and arrested.
The harsh reality is yes, this is all true, but damn, let's take a look at our community as a whole. Who is making up most of the crime? Who is making up most of the robberies? Why is it that people that look like me, Black men, make up roughly 6-7% of the U.S. population, but commit nearly 50% of all the murders and robberies? We talk all day about being the minority, but we make up majority of the most heinous acts of our society. We need to take accountability for that. Black people have killed more Black people this year alone than white cops have killed Black people in the past 10 years. Yet I'm supposed to be sitting up here crying about the white man and hating police. It doesn't make sense.
That's facts. He's cooking. I ain't trying to pause too heavy, but that's one of my favorite songs from Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has a song called is it called The Black of the Berry? It's a dope ass song. And I didn't even like that album. He has an album called To Pimp a Black Butterfly. I might go back to the album and listen to it again. But there was one song that caught my attention. And he's like going off, and like the whole song sounds like real preachy, but the drums are hard. It sounds like real like heavy metal type rock type of drums. Like it's crazy. And it's like the blacker the berry, the sweeter it is. But the whole verses that he's spitting is like, I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2016. And he just starts saying, by the end of this song, you just gonna see what I mean. And he's saying like a bunch of like gangster rap bars and I'm so black this and I love my people. But by the end, he's at the end of the verse is him preaching a bunch of stuff of, as much as I like to say I love black and preach with the Panthers, how much I watch BET and drink Kool-Aid and all this other stuff and say black, black, black. Why did I weep when Trayvon Martin was in the street when gangbanging made me kill a nigga blacker than me? Hypocrite. Oh, I got chills when I heard that line. I got chills. Even still to this day. So I was like, man, Kendrick is still one of the GOATs, bro. Even on albums that I'm like, I'm not really that much of a fan of. Man, he says stuff like that, though. It's just like, that's so high level and make you think like, hypocrites, yes. How you saying you black this and black that? And you doing more against your own community than the people you complaining about. Fam, I highly recommend that song. I might do a reaction to it, but that just reminded me of that, my bad.
And then I listen, and then they're going to say, oh, well, bringing up black on black crime is deflecting. No, it's just a harsh reality. I'm addressing it for what it is. Takeoff, PNB Rock, Young Dolph, King Von, Pop Smoke, Nipsey Hussle, X, all these rappers dead. And by who? Black people. Where's the line between being racist?
Hold on, let me fact check that real quick. I'm not going to tell just off the site.
Young Dolph, King Von, Pop Smoke, Nipsey Hussle, X, all.
No, that's facts. Yep. Dice Game, restaurants. While he was outside of a cookie restaurant. King Von, he kind of literally attacked someone and then the person's friend retaliated, but whatever. Pop Smoke, yep, it was a robbery. Nipsey Hussle in his own community, in his own store, where he donated to the community. And Excess Testosterone at an ATM. It's a shame that I know all of these by heart. But I was fans of a lot of these people, especially Excess Testosterone and Nipsey Hussle. I thought that they was literally going to take over, especially Excess Testosterone. That motherfucker's last album was genius to me, right? The last album he completed, you could just tell the road he was going in was going to go beyond hip hop, bro. He was going to go to a whole nother level.
All these rappers dead. And by who? Black people.
Yeah,
where's the line between being racist versus looking at the data for what it is? Context matters. It sucks being profiled. It really does. But we haven't taken into account how the people who look like me act in our society. We're out here demanding to be respected, but we don't even respect ourselves. Community behavior.
Some breaking news off the top. Hundreds of teens flooding into downtown Chicago tonight, smashing car windows, trying to get into Millennium Park, prompting a major police response. Within the past few minutes, shots were fired near the corner of Madison and Michigan.
This is how we're acting now?
You're crazy.
Really? We get slapped the label all the time of being rude, ghetto, entitled, loud, thieves, thugs. The list goes on, but look at us. Are they wrong? Honest conversation. Right. Are they wrong? Hell, these lootings and teen takeovers nonstop. Who is doing it? Who is doing it? Look at the videos. Look at all across the United States. Who is doing it? Obviously, I'm not in the crowd. And there's a plethora of Black people who are not in the crowd. But when we look at the consensus of all these crimes and heinous acts, it's not looking cute for Black people. We're already such a small segment of the society, but for some reason, when we get together, it's always trouble.
The city of Miami Beach declared a state of emergency over the weekend after a deadly start to spring break. 2 fatal shootings and some out-of-control crowds also forced the city to impose overnight curfews.
This is the 3rd year in a row Miami Beach has taken emergency measures to control a surge in visitors.
It just blows my mind. It's like a meme. Like when Black folk get together,
I've seen the after effects of that. Those cars are done. Let's say that, bro. That's going to cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of repair.
Let's know how to act. It's the unfortunate truth. There's no excuse for this behavior. It's a complete lack of structure within the Black community and the homes we're being raised in. We've got deadbeat dads that are not around, hello, including myself. And then we have emotionally unavailable mothers who are too busy working, trying to provide for the child.
Wait, did he? That's crazy. Well, shoot, at least you got a picture. Like, my deadbeat dad didn't even take pictures. My dad act like Carmen Sandiego. That's how my dad act. My dad be gone. Right? I don't have no pictures with him, me and him like chilling. But yeah, he's right about
including
that.
myself. And then we have emotionally unavailable mothers who are too busy working, trying to provide for the child to the point where they can't even raise it. Got all these kids in the school listening to all these rappers and horrible music. Little boys looking at the people like Blueface who's performing in high schools. And looking at the rappers like Future, who Juice WRLD accredits his fatal drug addiction to.
You always had issues with drugs even before you started to get famous and rich.
You know what's crazy? Future don't even do drugs. Think about that. Think about that. Future been telling these kids how fun drugs were and that they probably should try it for years. He don't even do it himself.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was something.
Shout outs to Juice WRLD though, man. R.I.P. R.I.P. Man, that's another talented artist that we lost. Super talented.
Something that I was into early, low key, due to music. Cause like, I was a music head. So like in 6th grade, 7th grade, I'm hearing songs about sipping lean. Those are like the real influential years, I feel like.
And then on the flip side, you have little girls looking up to people like Sexy Red, who raps about the color of her genitalia.
I'm out of town, thugging with my round, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
And women like Cardi B, the women who made WAP.
Certified freak, 7 days a week.
Yeah, her who's getting brand deals.
And sucks. That beat is hard. That beat is hard. That's a hard ass beat. But it's nasty. As far, especially for children to be listening to and repeating. And mind you, remember, there's footage of Cardi B running and turning the radio off when her daughter is there and the song's about to start playing. She didn't even want her own kids to hear it.
Those from Baby Shark.
Got here by doing things my own Sharky B way.
Like, our behavior has gotten to the point where even corporations are fleeing the neighborhoods.
Target announced today that it's closing 9 stores in major cities next month because of theft and organized retail crime.
First, a developing story. Walmart announced today it is closing 4 locations throughout the city.
Walmart even said this in a statement. They said, the simplest explanation is that collectively our Chicago stores have not been profitable since we opened the first one nearly 17 years ago. These stores lose tens of millions of dollars a year, and their annual losses nearly doubled in just the last 5 years. If I go to any Walmart in the hood, they all look like this.
Getting stolen.
Why? Well, no, it's not because of racism.
Is that the cases? Yeah. Okay, I could barely see it. No, that's facts. That's not just Walmart. That's like, if you go to Dwayne Reed, man, you got to literally go and get somebody to open it up and get something for you. You know how hard it is to buy deodorants? They lock up deodorant, bro. It's a high commodity.
Why? Well, no, it's not because of racism and being in a predominantly Black neighborhood. It's because the Black people won't stop stealing. And if it's not stealing, all it takes is for one white cop to shoot one Black guy, and that gives them some random excuse to just go loot and tear down the whole thing.
Crazy.
Black Lives Matter. During 2020, we saw some of the worst looting possible. And for what?
These people did this for no reason. It's not going to bring George back here. George is in a better place than we are. And last night, I'm going to be honest, I wish I was where George was, because this is ridiculous. These people are tearing up our livelihood.
Who is this with a phone just recording it like that? Like, it seemed kind of odd. Like, brother, what you doing? Can you stop? That's not strange to you?
This is why I pay no attention to Black Lives Matter. The least of my concerns as a black man in America is white people. It's white people this and white people that all the time for no good reason. We have got to do better. Black Lives Matter raised nearly $100 million in 2020, but where's the money? What has changed? What has improved? Please tell me in the comments and let me know. Hell, you look at any holiday, Labor Day in Chicago.
32 people have been shot in Chicago over the long holiday weekend. 3 of them have been killed. One of the youngest victims of violence, a 6-year-old boy.
Like I've always said, if a white cop shoots me, it's hashtag Amir Odom. But if a black man shoots me, it's... And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying organizations like Black Lives Matter can't exist. I'm just saying the amount of attention they have versus the things actually impacting and affecting the black community, it's not matching up. Again, we want all this respect, hell, even
Black lives or any lives. And like, why? Yeah, it's just, never mind. I got like a whole documentary about that. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get it. I got a whole anti-BLM documentary, man. I don't rock with BLM at all, any way, shape, or form.
But we don't know how to act. Reparations. What happened with slavery is absolutely awful. Everybody agrees with that. It was just a bad time. And we can acknowledge this history all day long, but we cannot let it distract us from the present and the future. My ancestors' trauma cannot be healed with a check, nor do I need one. I can entertain the idea of living victims getting a check and getting reparations. I
ain't gonna say no. I ain't begging for it. I ain't asking for it. I ain't demanding it. But I ain't gonna say no. They offering a check. I'll take the damn check. I'll tell you that. They offering a check. B's gonna take the check.
But we're too far gone from that. Has our government been responsible for horrible racist acts? Yes. No, America's not perfect, and I'm not saying they are. But we have to ask ourselves, in what world do we actually need and deserve reparations when all we're doing is tearing down our own communities? Looking objectively within the black culture, black community, how we act in race relations within the United States, how is money going to change anything? The whole reparations argument to me is a complete distraction. It will not help the atrocities that are facing the black community, of which are often inflicted by ourselves. Instead of uplifting each other time and time again, we trap ourselves in these little boxes, making sure that we keep our black card and then go about our lives bullying anyone for stepping out of line. Self-isolation. We live in this free country, but our mindset is still locked down. Growing up, myself and countless other black people were told, "You're talking white. Why are you listening to white people music? Why are you eating white people food?" This drove me so far into a depression personally, because it's like, damn, I'm just never good enough. I'm being told white people are racist and they hate you, but I'm also...
Yeah, he's right. I was told that exact same thing. Shoot, still to this day, fam. Like, I was getting so annoyed, right? Speaking to somebody that used to be a friend that tried to get back in my life recently, and they kept doing similar things to like that. And I was just like, ugh. How old are we? Like, just because you're not cultured don't mean I gotta be. All right? Then get out. Get out your box. Go live life.
Also being told that I'm not black enough to hang around the black kids. It's just like, damn, I can't win. We want to be free and accepted so damn bad, but we're the first people to exile and bully anyone that is black for thinking different. Why are you listening to white people music? Okay, cool. So because I don't want to listen to music with pill popping, killing people, and shaking ass, all of a sudden I'm not black enough and I'm getting exiled. The ghetto. And it's gotten to the point where even Joe Biden recognizes this behavior within the black community.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
He literally said, if you have any trouble, any doubt thinking about Biden versus Trump, then you're not black. He's completely disregarding any black person who's not a Democrat. Wow. Why can't black people be Republicans? Why can't black people be independents? Why do we have to stick to the narrative?
I remember when this happened, I felt like I was insane because everyone kept acting like it didn't happen. I was like, I felt like I was the only one. I was like, yo, so we just not going to mention the fact that my man just said we not black though? Like, no. Okay. All right.
Stick to the script that whoever has laid out for us, and that's just the rule book. Because damn, when I'm looking at the black communities that are predominantly Democrat across our entire nation, it's like, why do we keep voting for the same things time and time again, but they're complaining about nothing's ever changing? That's insanity. Insanity is just doing the same thing, but just expecting a different result, but you're not going to get that. Why not try something?
That's a quote. I think it's a quote from Albert Einstein, if I'm not mistaken. It's not the actual definition of insanity. but a lot of people use it as because it's like a famous quote. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. But yeah, that's not the actual definition. But I agree with the sentiment, though. It is crazy. It is crazy to do the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result.
Different. Why is that so bad to do? It's just this monotonous state that we're all in. Just taking everything mainstream media says for face value and going about our day. And what we fail to realize is that we have all the tools necessary to be the change we wish to see in this nation. We cry and cry for change and progress, all while not changing at all. We just sit there far too often and view ourselves as the victim mentality. It is time to stop blaming everyone else but ourselves for our lives and our actions. I damn sure can't help what someone does to me, but I control 110% of how I move forward. White man this, racism that, enough. I promise you, the second you start focusing on yourself, your goals, your dreams, tunnel vision, and
say white man this, racism that, enough. That's facts that he's cooking. Right. Yeah. Once you get out of that victim mentality, you're going to flourish.
Move forward, the faster life will progress for you and the happier you will become. I could have easily sat back and accepted this narrative that, yes, Black people will always be behind and white people will always be ahead of me. That is because I didn't have a father in my life. That is because 400 years of slavery and oppression. That is because the white man's always ahead of me. That is because I didn't go to the best school. That's because of everything else except for me. It can be so easy to throw in a towel, but you cannot allow yourself to do that. The solution. We have got to be the change we wish to see. Generational wealth this, generational wealth that. Build it. Build that wealth. This year in 2023 is the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and there's nothing to show for it.
Hip hop has been around for 50 years. Not a single hospital, not a single school, not a single bank, not a single supermarket, not a single distribution company. How can we call hip hop a blessing to the Black community when that type of money being made off of our culture and the community doesn't benefit from it at all?
We've accomplished so much as Black people, have become so rich, and where is these investments at? Why is our community still like this? It's because of the culture.
I don't like Dr. Umar, but yeah, he's right. Right. Every time somebody comes with this whole reparations thing, I always ask the argument of, how hard would it have been for all Black people to get together, start a business, and really just grow? Right? And don't say none of that Black Wall Street, no, that was forever ago. Like, literally, that what happened then couldn't happen now. Right? People will start saying a bunch of events or naming singular, just like one incident to explain what. No, fam, it's really because people in general, not just saying based off race, but humans have a habit of wanting everything passed to them or given to them.
And how things are progressing, and no one's really trying to change it. We have to remember, we are our ancestors' dream. I am my ancestors' dream. And you got me figgity up if you really want me to sit here and sit back and think that I'm living in the same America that my ancestors are living in, let alone my grandparents were living in. This is a different time, new era, and it is the best time for any Black person to really go after it and prosper in this nation. Oprah, Michael Jordan, Tyler Perry, Jay-Z, Ye. There are far too many people that we have seen make something out of nothing, and have just.
A lot of people don't like I guess giving him credit because he does a lot of suspect stuff, right? But I seen Tyler Perry from the ground, bro. Right? From the ground. If he doing suspect stuff, it's not because of Hollywood. Because he fun. Okay. That's if it's on him. Right. Other than that, when it comes to independence, a lot of people can use him as an example of how to do things independently and then from the ground up. Dude was living out of his car, writing scripts, begging people to come and act into his plays, and somehow turn that into a $1 million company, $1 million film studio, right? So he can do everything independent. He don't need Hollywood. He could do everything on his own, and he has. Dude be putting out TV shows and movies like it's nobody's business. Some of them be trash. He got a few good ones though. Really good writing. I can always say that he has some good writing, right? So Yeah, he's an example.
Just blown up and became billionaires in this nation. And don't get me wrong, I've talked a lot in this video. I'm not saying disparities don't exist. I'm not saying Black people have it 100% easy and it's going to be a shit thing. No, I'm not trying to say that. What I am saying is that we all have the opportunity to become who we want to be. And it's not always the white man this, white man that. No, as a Black American, you can get up and do anything you wish to do. It ain't going to be easy. But you can do it. I know, and I will overcome any disparity, any racism, anything that's thrown my way, because that can shut down Amir Odom. And the same can be said for you. Because I know I'm still Black to this day. I still get profiled. I still deal with racism. I still deal with all these prejudices. They're there. Trust me. And all those billionaires I just named, they talk about it too. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh my gosh, all these Black people are billionaires and they're amazing, but neglect the struggles that they talk about all the time. They've gone through hell and back in this nation, and so can we. Ultimately, there are a ton of...
He's not wrong. He is cooking right now. A lot of people, they just have this whole victim mentality, bro. I'm telling you. Right? They have this big victim mentality. They just want to cry all day. And it's like, that's not going to get you nowhere.
Things that the Black community needs to address and get in order in this nation. This country is not as bad as we make it out to be. And there's a lot of change that can happen if we actually start to sit down and have more conversations and really address all the things that I outlined in this video regarding the Black community. If we fix the culture and how we live our daily lives, I think there would be tons of progress made within the Black community. With that being said, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If it resonated with you or you think someone would appreciate this, please send it their way. It helps me out a ton. Be sure to subscribe there.
Yeah, this was dope, man. I highly recommend it. I will have the full video linked down in my sources in the description so you can see it uninterrupted by me. I highly recommend them. Definitely make your own opinions, man. Make your own opinions. But I think that was dope. I thought that was a dope video. I thought it was cool and I highly enjoyed it. I actually agreed with a lot of what he was saying. Right. But tell me what you think down in the comment section.